Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hamin Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel. Allahu Akbar! So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hamin Media Group, and join the Hamin Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show where after the collision we sift through
the wreckage.
The wreckage. I am your host Jimmy T. That is my co-host, the best in the world, the vet Jamie Williams, and we are live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel, on the Twitch, and of course channelattitude.com after the fact. Vet, what's crack-a-lackin', and how you been, man?
Oh, you know, I'm the best in the world, you know. That means I get to main event WrestleMania. I'll try not to cry.
Oh, God, I know. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, we got Scott Woodford in the house. Boom. Already.
Already.
Got the sexiest man.
Oh, shit.
Starting off a show in the sexiest way, so I guess I'm doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 2 days in a row he's given us a boom. Like literally right at the start of the show. Scotty, thank you very much, man.
It's the
we
good
appreciate
kind,
you.
not the fat guy with the fat kids and the chocolate chip cookies and the, you know, Snavits and everything like that. This is the good kind of boom. And I think we were free of those guys this week, right?
We were, I believe.
Beautiful.
But there was a little promo with them in it, if you saw it. I don't know, it was pretty corny.
Oh, maybe.
It was an AEW sort of ad commercial type of deal. Anyway, it was cheesy. Who cares? But Scotty, thank you very much for the super sticker. We very much appreciate you and appreciate it. But we are here to also welcome everyone else who's in the house, because we got Jerome Hall in the house. What up, Bearcat? The Bearcats are in the house already. We've also got Lab Rat. Yesterday, I was asking him if they were testing the Hogans on him. Or the Belayers, should I say. I'm glad he's recovered this time around. Thank you.
I know he had to test that American beer.
Oh, I haven't tested it yet.
I guess he's still alive and it went to market, so I guess that worked.
I guess it did work, just like Linda said. Also, we got Liz in the house. Thank you, Liz, for joining us. We've also got the... Hang on there. I guess I got to do this, right? Even though... Should I be doing it? But I'll do it.
The master and ruler of the world, Zane Vicious.
He's in the house saying, why aren't you sinners in church? It's a good question, actually. Easter is coming up. But also, we've got Chris Willand in the house saying, hey, kids.
Hey, yes, boy.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Sadly, Pretty Deadly did not win the tag team championships, but...
Oh, I want to ask you something about that too, actually, as a matter of fact. But we also got the coupon man himself, the best in the world in coupons, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
If you need anything, go to the TN Coupon YouTube site, because Josh is your man for all things coupons. Josh, thank you for joining us. We've also got, is he cold? Is he warm? I don't know. Or is it cold-blooded? It's cold-blooded in the house. Thank you for joining us. He says, morning, friends. All I can say is Billy Starks versus Queen Aminata, a main event anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. Clearly. We've also got, is that Jacob Fatu, the lone wolf? Saying morning, everyone.
Werewolf. Hey, don't skip over J12.
Oh, true.
Don't try to dodge your J12 shot. You know, those people in Australia will pull you out of your house and force you to get it.
No. He's my hermano. I was never going to dodge J12. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, brother. He says, I felt like I was watching Ring of Honor Collision last night. Bro, I think, don't we all? I mean, we all feel that way. And is that it? Or we still got someone else? Oh, we
got a major.
We've also got,
yeah,
we got R to the B to the V. He's my co-host on the Smack Attack. Go check that out at channelattitude.com. Rick, thank you for joining us. Yeah, man.
He said pretty deadly sucks balls.
Something like that. Sucks balls. But can I ask you, dude? I was saying
Charlotte Flair has balls. What about that?
Well, that's true. Clearly, she's got balls. I mean, come on. But I want to ask you, Vet, did you feel like Pretty Deadly were working kind of like big guys? Like they were tossing around Tez and Dawkins all over the ring, it felt like at one stage, dude.
It was not a good match, and I know that both of those teams can and have done better than that. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know if it was like big stage nerves or lack of chemistry or what. To my knowledge, they've never touched. Maybe if they'd done some house show stuff, but other than that, don't really know. The Street Profits look like they were on another planet. They look like they were so uninterested and like it was just rotten. It was rotten. And I blame the Street Profits mostly.
It's true.
It was just a bad match, and whoever agented that match did not do a great job. There was plenty of stuff that was missed in the match, you know, both teams screwing up. It just wasn't good. And that is kind of like, I guess this is relevant in the bigger scheme of talking about the state of the entire wrestling business, because you got these two tag teams, right? How many tag team matches have we seen Pretty Deadly and the Street Profits in the past 6 months?
Fuck all, to be honest. Pretty much not much at all.
Yeah, do they even wrestle? Like, I don't even know. Like, people are just on these shows to walk out, have their theme song sung,
oh my God,
say some words in the microphone and whatever, and everything except have a match, right? So you can't get better at something by not doing it, as Chael Sonnen often says. You have to like get these repetitions so that when the time comes, you know, you're, you know, firing on all cylinders. You can't just have people not have tag team matches and then be like, all right, guys, here, you got a TV tag team title match and you got time, go. Yeah. Of course it's going to suck. You haven't had any practice.
That's true, man. Absolutely. But look, to be fair to the Profits, the tag division is just absolutely pathetic in WWE right now. Everyone's pretty much on the smaller side, and then you got the Profits. But even them, do they come across, like you said, disinterested? But do you think they're even over being a tag team at this point? I feel like Montez wants to like just do his own thing.
Probably so. I mean, Montez Ford has a lot of, here's that word again. I'm about to use the P word. But you know, Dawkins has been hanging on by a thread for like 10 years.
Tell me about it.
Like it was literally Montez Ford who came along out of nowhere and like basically saved his career.
It's true, man. Facts. You're right.
And even that, it's like, I'm still just like with all this stuff that, and I hate saying this about one of the boys. I really do. 'Cause it sounds like sour grapes. It sounds like I'm bitter. It sounds like I'm a hater. It sounds like all this other stuff, but like, what does Dawkins do?
He looks like a bum dude compared to Montez. I hate to say it. I was saying it on the Smack Attack as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look at them both. like
He
next
looks
to
like
each
he
other.
looks like that guy that's like signed up for a gym membership because they have a basketball court and he wants to play with the young kids to prove he's still got it. He's like Uncle Drew out there.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what's even worse? The way Montez dresses and then the way Dawkins dresses, it just doesn't fit to me. You know what I mean? One's full of class. The other one's just, he just comes across as a bum compared to Montez. And it is what it is.
But all that being said, whether Montez Ford is over it or not, the Street Profits as a team and as a package, they work and the people want to like them.
Right.
So anytime you go out there and phone it in for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe he caught a virus overseas. I don't know what it is. Whatever the excuse is for that shitty match, it better not be because he's over it. Because you don't, like, if you think you're a real spoiled athlete, you don't just complain, you don't sit out, you don't hold out, you go out there, you do your job to the best of your abilities, and then when they see that, that's when they want to make you with the singles push. So if you think that if Montez Ford thinks that Dawkins is dead weight that's holding him back, then all he needs to do is go out there and do his best job, and he will outshine him, and then they'll want to push him, and then they'll want to have do the split, get rid of Dawkins finally, and then they can do what they want with Ford. If he keeps being lazy like this, then, or disinterested or checked out or whatever you want to call it, or whatever happened, if you keep doing that, they'll just release both of you. So that's just my advice. If you want what you want, you have to perform your role that you're currently in better than anyone else can. That's what they appreciate.
No, for sure. I mean, if they ever listen to us, take that advice, man. Because you're right. You're 100% spot on. And that leaves me now with Pretty Deadly. What do you do with them?
Well, one second. First, Cold Blooded said Dawkins used to team with Wesley Blake or someone. The someone actually is Sean Spears. That's how long ago.
Jesus.
They just put those two guys together. Ty Dillinger. This is before the Perfect 10 thing.
Right.
And when when Ty Dillinger came up with the Perfect 10 thing, that was where Dawkins was like on the chopping block because he had nothing left but being Uncle Drew, except he was just like 10 years younger. But
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so that is an interesting piece of trivia. Two random guys, they were like, I don't know what to do with either one of these guys. I guess they're a tag team. So that was happening in NXT. Pretty Deadly is, here's what sucks about Pretty Deadly. First, you had them just being like a joke where they're in the back trying to get people to sign up for their musical or whatever, or be part of their musical, which what was that ever going to be? Were you ever going to make a musical? No. Then why are we even teasing it? You're not, you're not damn well going to do that. Right.
Fact.
Then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and get put in a babyface position. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like several weeks ago, one day they just showed up and they were baby faces in this whole DIY and machine guns and all this whatever situation. They just get slotted in as like, what about these guys as baby face at all?
Pretty Deadly?
It's a complete misunderstanding. Nobody that's up there understands the gimmick, I guess. So
more than likely, you're right on that one for sure.
So I don't know. What do you do with them? It's the same thing you do with all the tag teams. You need to get your shit together and put a serious division together. Take all the tag teams you have, which is a lot, and then actually make a division. Make it a spotlight. Make it a focus on the show. We know from you could even designate like, hey, quarter 3 of hour 2 is tag team time. Like. Whatever you have to do to make sure that there's consistency in the booking, but everyone can benefit from that because I don't care about anybody on there. And I should. There's teams that you should care. You should care about the Motor City Machine Guns. They feel like an afterthought. They're just wandering around backstage at NXT for fuck's sake.
They're just going for a walk, man. That's all they're doing. But you know what, man? Is it gotten to the point, especially with the Profits, that they've got no one really to feed to the Profits because everyone is way smaller than them, to be fair. Like, the division is just too lopsided because of one team, though, really. When you think about it, if you didn't have the Profits, then it would be an even playing field. But with the Profits, it just, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're always screwing up their run, their push. I don't know if it's them and they gain heat on themselves for whatever reason, or that'll be just starting and stopping, because that's what they keep doing. And there's got to be something behind this, surely.
Yeah, it's one or both of those.
100%.
That's your Meltzer report from me.
There you go. This actually, I want to ask you about CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was, this was a rock concert, clearly. I mean, no one was there for the wrestlers. Everyone was there just to sing along with their damn themes, which is starting to drive me nuts now. I'm not going to lie. Everyone's fucking song. Is there a song that I don't want to sing? I mean, they were singing CM Punk's theme. They were singing Roman Reigns' theme. Heck, they gave him the Cody Rhodes
He doesn't even have lyrics in his theme.
Come on, man. And they were, doing the usual with Rollins. And then Punk cried. And I felt happy for him. I'm not going to lie. Because I think that was legit tears. Because he does get his chance at main eventing WrestleMania. And on top of that, what I found weird is Heyman being, kissing him on the air in front of Reigns and hugging him. I know that's legit love. And it didn't even look like Reigns was bothered by it, if anything. But still, it was kind of weird, though. Couldn't we just wait till after the show? But I get it. It was a moment for him. Congratulations and whatnot. Did you feel like that was legit?
Well, I mean, we all know it's legit.
Right.
Are you asking me, do I think they smartened him up ahead of time and then he cried
he
anyway?
Would have been smartened up. No. He would have been smartened up 100%. I'm assuming.
Or is it like them to not smarten him up and just have him?
That's why I'm assuming. I don't know.
They could have just told him like, hey, make sure when you go, make sure that you like make a big show of looking through the contract or whatever. Like they could have told him that. Like they could have told him that just to set him up so that Paul could go out there and break the news live, which I could see them doing that because it seems like in the new WWE, it seems like they do nice surprises rather than fuck you surprises.
What is he?
So, I could see them doing that.
Well, if that's the case, that's nice of him, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's. I kind of thought the whole thing was interesting because it's just not the usual crap that we've gotten. Right. You would know like a contract signing. You know how it is. Everybody comes out, cuts a boring wrestling promo, and then someone ends up through a table, right?
Standard. It's 101.
Terrible. And we've seen it. It was terrible the first time. But we've seen it 1,000 times. So to have these guys come out and do what they do, I liked it. I liked that Roman's so like arrogant and like he's not even, he doesn't even worry. Yeah, go ahead, kiss CM Punk. I don't care, whatever. Because he still thinks he's so much, better than everybody, the character, right? And that's what he should do. And Paul Heyman's doing all the same, like everything he does is hilarious. It's just watching his facial expressions all the time. Anytime Seth Rollins is talking, anytime Roman Reigns is talking, they has these different facial. I love how Seth Rollins immediately starts throwing a tantrum as soon as he finds out, like everything is just so, and I like the CM Punk reaction of just like, facetiously thanking the tribal chief and everything like that.
You call him the big dog.
Yeah, the big dog. I'm not sure if we're still doing that. Like, I liked it because it may not be like the most amazing thing you've ever seen on television, but it's just not a guy going through a table on a contract signing. So I'll take it. And I also like the sort of, mic drop cliffhanger of like, that's not the favor, right?
Right. That was awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, not awesome. That's the wrong word to use because it wasn't awesome. But yeah, it leaves you intrigued and guessing what else does he want. But no, I enjoyed it. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good because it just felt real, in many ways, especially with the Punk deal. But yeah, like all three of these guys are the three biggest egotistical wrestlers right now, probably in WWE, which makes it even more interesting. And, I'm glad he gets his main event, man. And apparently I'm hearing rumors that this could main event night 2.
The thing about it is, if this is a main event on any night, it has to end the show with something that's going to be like a very important event.
Right.
It has to lead to something else. It can't like just be a match like, oh, this guy wins, right? It's certainly a number one contendership, so
Yeah, it has to
I
be
don't think-
something on the line.
I don't think you should main event night 2.
Yeah, well, that's
I
the
definitely
talk.
don't. I think if Cody and Cena, that's the biggest match, and I think that's got to end it. So,
But to be honest, is that even that intriguing to you
yes,
compared to these three? I just feel like we still, I don't know.
yes.
Okay. All
Why
right.
why wouldn't it be?
Because we still haven't heard Cena mention The Rock and why he joined up with The Rock. It's like that didn't even really happen. If you know what I mean.
I know, but you're talking about something that hasn't happened yet, and we didn't have WrestleMania yet, so we
That's
could
true,
still
too.
get that. But I mean, even
Yeah.
if you're just looking at it on the face of it, it's the WWE Championship. It's John Cena's the biggest name on it. Cody's the biggest name of today. That needs to be the what are you going to follow that with? This? A triple threat with like, I just don't. No, I don't. No. It has to end night 2, and that has to have some implication. When it's over, like if Cena wins and the air gets sucked out of the building, right? Then that's something. If Cody ends up retaining, then they're gonna do something to like further like get the gears moving for the next thing, whether that's whoever wins the triple threat coming out afterwards to confront him, or whether The Rock shows up then, or whatever they do. But it can't just be, you can't just end a WrestleMania with a guy winning a match, and that's going to be what happens in this triple threat. It's just going to be a guy winning a match. So that's why if you're gonna end WrestleMania night 1 with a guy winning a match, that might work. Night 2, I think you need a little something else to get to the future.
I agree. We've got 3 weeks now, I believe, till Mania, so we're getting close. Josh was saying, and I know you asked this yesterday, but I forgot to bring it up. But he says today again. Did you notice when Roman asked Punk to acknowledge him, Heyman shook his head? No, I did notice that. I don't know what to think about when it comes to that. It could be just, I mean, I wouldn't read too much into it because, like, Roman just looks like he doesn't give a shit, to be honest, anyway, regardless. I don't know what to think. Is there anything for you to say about that? I mean,
I don't read into that.
Neither do I. And that's why I never brought it up yesterday, Josh, just so you know. But, yeah, I just don't read too much into it at the moment. It was something else. By the way, welcome, Bruce, and thank you for joining us. And, of course, the Comment King's also in the house. And Labrat said, they were testing, what were they testing? What do you say? I saw it. Oh, they were testing out favors for Punk on Labrat. What were those favors, Labrat? Actually, I want to know. I'm intrigued. But yeah. Anyway, well, that's enough of the SmackDown talk. Let's get into the proper news, and let's see what's cracking. Oh yeah, let's actually start with this. I'm sure you've seen social media whirling around with all the balaya, the Hogan stuff between Brooke and her mother, particularly.
Actually,
you never
no.
saw it? Really?
I mean,
Wow.
I've seen stuff, but I didn't read or look at any of it.
Did you see the video that Linda? Okay.
No,
Well,
like I would see the thumbnail and then just keep scrolling.
yeah,
Like
I
I'm
don't
not going
blame
to look
you.
at Linda Hogan. Are you serious?
She looks bad, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but basically, I'll just cut it short. She's still crying at the fact that her marriage is over with Hogan, and she doesn't understand why. She hasn't spoken to Brooke in 7 to 8 years because Brooke has pushed both the parents, to the side, which I don't blame her personally. Nick is still a good kid because he still keeps in touch with his parents. But cut a long story short, they've been going back and forth. Brooke has said that her family has abused her mentally, physically even, all her life up until she became an adult. And Linda's accusing Brooke of breaking her collarbone and being a drunk. This is just ridiculous. I feel bad for Brooke in all of this. Linda's looking like a tool at this point. This family, man, is something else. And they're just going back and forth. And Linda now threatening to sue Brooke over the allegations that she came out and said. And then now the husband even got involved, calling out both Hogan and Linda without actually mentioning their names. That's the long story short. And there's a lot more to that, but that's the gist.
And you want my thoughts on that?
Well, you probably don't even care. So
you're
don't worry about
exactly
it.
right, Jimmy. I guess we've been doing this show long enough. This is how I'm going to put this. If we're talking about personal domestic issues within professional wrestlers' lives, I have no comment.
True.
This is their problem, not my problem. And we wouldn't know about this kind of stuff happens every day in every neighborhood, and they're not famous, so we don't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it just because it's fucking Hogan's family. Yeah,
that's fair enough, and I respect that, man. In AEW news, Kevin Knight, as we found out, signed with All Elite Wrestling. They're trying to make this like some big deal. I mean, come on. Is it really such a big deal?
No, it's not a big deal. But, I mean, this is the thing. Again, AEW is just doing something like, hey, Kevin Knight's All Elite. Here's your graphic, you know. And, of course, people are going to... Anybody that's an AEW fan is going to hype it up, and that's going to get people upset. And then people that are haters are going to say, who cares? And that's going to get people upset. It's just, what are they supposed to do? Just keep it quiet that they signed Kevin Knight? Should they just not tell anybody?
No, of course not.
Good for Kevin Knight. I like him. I've been watching him. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good kid, and I'm sure he's got a big future ahead of him. But that's the AEW side of news. They signed him. We all know that. Saraya apparently is gone from AEW. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any interest on WWE's end on signing her? I personally think they won't. And I personally also think they wouldn't even clear her to actually get back in the ring.
No, I don't think they would clear her to get back in the ring, but they don't need to. She can be like a ambassador or a Legends deal or, you know, something like that. I mean, she's pretty much, ever since she broke up with, Mr. Patron there,
Alberto Del Rio,
she's pretty much behaved herself. So I guess considering his current situation and her current situation, he was the problem. So I guess she's safe to touch with a 10-foot pole again. No pun intended, but yeah, so she's useful. They could use her for things.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens with that. Nick Khan has come out and said that WWE's got a goal to host a flagship show in India in 2026 or 2027. Look, all the wrestling promotions around the world have constantly tried to break into the Indian market, and I guess they've got a bad marketing team for India.
I'm getting triggered.
Yeah, well, they're going to try.
Like I said a million times, they're in the Indian market. Okay, don't you worry about that. There's so many fucking Indian people that watch wrestling. It's ridiculous. Don't tell me they're trying to break in the market. No, they're not. No. What does that mean anyway?
What I mean by that is apparently the last Indian show, which was meant to be a PLE initially, that didn't end up becoming a PLE, and it was just a house show. Apparently the ticket, which I don't believe, and I never saw any pictures or anything, but apparently they couldn't even sell it out because Jinder was champion at the time.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about him. He's Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's true. that's actually
true. Dude, they're not that stupid, bro. The people I know personally, you know, when you ask them who their favorite wrestlers are, it's not
John Cena, man, all the time. For me, it's
always like whoever's over, like John Cena or The Undertaker or something. They don't care about fucking some job guy from 3-man band.
Yeah, no, they're not that stupid. You can't fool them like that. Come on. I mean, shit. Yes, he's Indian heritage, but he is Canadian, born and raised, by the way.
Now, Great Khali, now that's a guy that's from there. He was famous from there before he ever became a wrestler. They knew of him. True. And when he broke into the rest of the world, right? So he is a draw in that sense. But a guy like Jinder Mahal, no. There's no history in the country, so why would they care?
Yeah, no, I agree. And they didn't care then. Why should they care now? Also, I'm surprised Ray didn't ask you this, but me, Ray, and Ben spoke about this on I Like a Raw. And I saw, I mean, it's very quiet, and I don't understand why. But did you hear about the Endeavor thing, you know, them going back to private and, you know, going back to WME and Ari Emanuel getting sort of pushed out from the CEO position, but it's gone quiet suddenly. Do you have any thoughts about that? Does this mean possibly, like Ben was alluding to, that the Saudis could come? Are they getting ready to sell, basically? That's what I'm trying to say. And is it possible that the Saudis could buy it? And if so, does that mean Vincent Kennedy McMahon has got another way in again?
Well, as far as Ari Emanuel goes, I mean, he just got a different assignment. He's not pushed out.
No, not pushed out from the CEO position. That's what I meant. Not
well,
out of the company.
I don't even know if that's accurate statement. Pushed out. I don't even know if that's accurate.
I can say one thing. He's in a bit of a feud. This is so dumb. Actually, it was D that was looking at this with Justin Reynolds and a couple of other actors, and then Ari Emanuel had an interview and said something, and then he didn't want it to come out. There was a preview about it, and he said something he shouldn't have, and that's one of the reasons why apparently he's lost his spot as CEO for Endeavor. But I have no idea, man, what's going on here, man. I have to look into it deeper.
Who knows? All you can do is look at the surface and try to connect the dots, which that's what Ben was doing, and I think he did a good job of it. It's very
absolutely.
He laid out a very credible case for
makes sense.
Them making moves to sell to Saudi Arabia. However, the one dot that he's connecting that is not so much of a layup is Vince McMahon. I mean, Vince McMahon is not integral or necessary to any of these proceedings. So for them to bring him back for any reason would just be a headache and a conflict of interest that they don't need. He can't do anything for anybody at this point. Like he's useless because he's the one. Look, everybody forgets that he's the one that sold the fucking company.
True.
People are trying to make it look like he was forced out. It's like, if you had the majority control of your company, they really can't force you out. So you sold it. Why'd you sell it? Because you were guilty of something, right? And you just wanted to, there's no, but what can he actually do? Like, what is necessary for him that they don't already have? You know, every entity that's involved in this, whether it's, you know, the shell corporations that are like stacked on top of each other, from like, you know, in TKO to WME to Silver Lake to whatever else.
Exactly.
You know, like
it goes
every single one of those things is way, 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 way above WWE's pay grade.
You're right.
Vince McMahon is nothing to these people. So what do they need him for? Like, let's bring back the guy that the only news that he's making is these constant lawsuits and allegations. Yeah, let's bring him in and give him for what?
Well, I agree.
If they wanted him there, if they wanted Vince McMahon there, they never had to force him out in the first place.
Well, if he comes back, right, if there's any chance, it's only if they're selling to the Saudis. I could see the Saudis putting him in charge, you know, while they still sit around in Saudi Arabia doing whatever. Do you know what I mean? They tend to do this with everything they buy.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But when Vince McMahon was hobnobbing with the Prince, was that just because he was the guy to do that at that time? Does that mean that the Prince really gives a shit about Vince McMahon like they're friends?
Well,
didn't Vince? Wasn't there a hostage situation on a runway once?
Remember that? Yeah.
What the? I don't know why everybody just assumes that Vince McMahon is gonna like. I think people just really would love to make a prediction and be right rather than look at what's actually happening. So everybody wants to sound smart by saying, "Oh, Vince could come back." Sure, he could. Why not? Let's see what happens.
Best in the world, ladies and gents. He calls out the bullshit right there. I love it. Also, last but not least, and then we'll move into sifting through the wreckage. We saw also Ray Phoenix with a vignette on SmackDown, and allegedly Aleister Black. Yeah, Ray Phoenix.
Aleister Black.
Yeah,
must have
there
missed
was
that
another
one.
vignette that looked reminiscent of Aleister Black. I won't lie, but you couldn't tell. But everyone's like 100%. It's Aleister Black.
Okay.
So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
no
guess I
comment.
hope they keep
Again, no
Phoenix. That's all right. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, it's really there's nothing really to say other than we know that they're going to debut eventually. Phoenix is pretty quick. I'm looking forward to it. He debuts next week on SmackDown. Let's see what happens there. Hopefully, he doesn't botch around, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it, man. That's really the news, the most important news. And one more thing, Ken Shamrock is being considered for the 2025 Hall of Fame in WWE.
Considered? Just put him in.
Yeah, it's not official, but they're thinking about it. I don't know where they get this information from.
What are we considering?
Well, yeah, they're reportedly considering Ken Shamrock for WWE Hall of Fame induction for 2025. That's what it says.
Yeah, I just don't know if Ken had the intercontinental title defenses that you need to make it into the Hall of Fame.
That's what Triple H would be saying.
Yeah, maybe next year we could vote again.
Yeah. No, he deserves it, I think, man, for many reasons. But anyway, hopefully if that happens, because how many guys are confirmed right now? It's just Luger, Triple H. Am I missing anyone else?
The Natural Disasters?
Did they get? Wow, they're not even saying shit about them really when you think about it. That's good.
They mentioned them.
No, I didn't even notice. No shit. But is that it?
There's
as far as
one
we
other
know?
person I forgot they mentioned.
All I hear is Luger.
Michelle
Triple
McCool.
H.
Oh yes, the great Michelle McCool. Definitely yes.
Really? You know there was
Yeah.
politics with Michelle McCool.
Unlike
taking
Ken Shamrock,
over.
that's a no-brainer. We just put her right in. No problem.
She did not have a Hall of Fame career. I didn't give a shit.
She's a legend, and she's a future great of this show, Legends of Future Greats, because she'll be
Yeah.
on season 2. You know.
And I wonder what happened with Mickey James, right? You telling me that Taker didn't have something to do with his bullshit?
I mean, he probably did. Well, like, I think it was Jim Cornette that laid it out saying, like, he basically said, if you want me to come back for a second season, you know, I want my wife to come back for a second season. And he probably didn't tell them to get rid of Mickey, but they probably said, well, we don't need 2 women, so I guess we have to do this. Sounds plausible.
It does. That's the sad part. Well, anyway, that's enough of that. How about we start putting our gloves on, Vet, and start sifting through the wreckage?
That Wreckage, yeah. We're gonna have to put our
AEW.
gloves on and take the professor's time machine. I hope you don't mind, Professor. Back to last week was Slam Dunk Sunday.
Ugh. Yeah, we've gone back to the future, I think.
Precisely.
Your face. Precisely, yeah.
1.21 gigawatts.
Oh, you're a character, man.
What did I tell you, Jimmy? 88 miles
Yeah,
per hour. All right. Yep. And we are getting the Death Riders versus the AR Flight for the Trios Championships.
My neck.
Come on, we're starting off with a title match. You're not excited?
I'm excited, all right?
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this.
I don't even want to talk about this.
I will say, well,
Straight
I do have to point one thing out.
What's that?
There were some loud AR Fox chants for some reason. I don't think this was his hometown or anything. In fact, I think he's closer to home this week than he was last week.
In Minnesota?
Yeah, or whatever. So.
You know
But
what?
they were
The crowd has
like
been loud.
they were AR Foxing in this building. It was
No,
pretty
AR
interesting.
Foxy.
I've never seen anybody
Foxy.
care about him before, so I was very taken aback.
mean,
But he
good
does
for
get
him.
beat. He is the one that gets beat. He gets beat with the fastball special, and
Fastball special.
yeah, and then the crew comes in and picks the bones of Top Flight afterwards.
A bunch
Still
of
no
hyenas
Koopa
came out?
jackets, but
They got to start wearing those jackets again, dude,
I know.
and then turn into like a shell, and then they can take off.
You know, when Leo Rush hits the the frog splash, the final hour off the top with the spiky jacket, that's
Oof.
much more devastating. You know.
It is. Both for the eye and not just visually, but even impact.
Mm-hmm.
Could kill you.
Yep.
You could kill a man.
That's right. You thought Mox
Speaking
got
of,
it bad.
I mean, RVD doesn't want to have anything to do with AEW even.
Yeah, no way.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So Lexi Nair is with
bloody.
the Undisputed Kingdom for a promo. I just wrote down, ugh.
I
Then
didn't
we have
care.
Lexi Nair with Okada.
Oh, now I can.
Yeah, Okada says he put those bitches to sleep, referring to the Hounds of Hell or whatever they're called. Then we get Johnny TV versus Bandito. 21 plex for Johnny TV. Thanks for coming. Then Bandito
Johnny
calls out
Television.
Jericho.
Right.
And Jericho starts talking a bunch of shit. And he puts on the mask right in front of him. So he becomes Jaravity. And
Gravity.
yeah. And then Bandito punches him in the face and he fights
And
all
takes
three
it.
guys. And he steals the mask back and
steals it.
escapes. So Gravity's going to have his mask.
His mask. What I don't understand, I didn't know Gravity and Bandito are actually brothers. Is that legit?
I think so.
Or is this
I mean,
just
I think they
kayfabe?
said that the first time Gravity debuted, but
Did they? Oh, I don't recall that, but they're saying it now a lot. That's for sure.
well, they have to
You know
let
what?
everybody know this is a personal family angle.
Wow. Seems to be a lot of, luchador siblings in Mexico these days, Vet, but cool, I guess.
Mhm.
One's a bandit, one's, I don't know what he is. He's Gravity, I guess.
An astronaut.
Is he an astronaut? I mean, I don't even know what would you call yourself, Gravity? But anyway, who cares? I get it. He's a luchador, he flies, whatever. But Gravity is not exactly flying, though, but I don't know, man. It is what it is.
I guess you have to consider that. I don't know if there's like a Spanish word for it. I don't know if it's just gravidad, but
Gravidad.
but like in foreign countries, when you have another word, like a different language word for your name, people just accept it, right?
Right. It's true.
So,
Gravita.
like in America in English, if you call somebody Gravity, that doesn't necessarily make sense. But maybe in Mexico they don't care because it just sounds cool. It's like, oh, that's an English word.
I
Maybe
guess.
that's the idea.
Well, Cold Blooded said in the chat, we could have Fox versus Mox in a box. I could say
I
something
will not
else, but I
watch it
won't.
on TV. I will not watch it with my Samsung Galaxy.
Hey, I've got a Samsung Galaxy too.
All right.
And I wouldn't even watch that.
Yeah. All right. Megan Bain gets a video package, and then Toni Storm answers with her usual shtick. Then we get Harley Cameron versus somebody named Amina Belmont. I wonder if she's part of the famous vampire hunting clan from the Castlevania games.
Wow.
But
That's a good one.
either way, she got whipped in this match, and
Literally.
Harley hit her finishing move. That's her finishing move
God, I hate that.
on
And I
young
like her,
Amina.
man. Come on, I like this girl, but Jesus.
Mhm.
Come on.
Lexi's with Don Callis, and that unfortunately means we have to hear Kyle Fletcher cut a promo.
Ugh. I love his look now, but damn it, his voice is way too screechy, man.
Okay, now this is a main event anywhere in the world. Cold-blooded. Okay,
Hmm.
it's Los Facción Ingobernables versus Los Titanes del Aire,
Wait, the Lost Titans?
the Titans of the Air.
Wait, how do you say air in Spanish again? Say that last bit again.
Aire?
Oh, like aera. Like that's how you say it in Greek anyway. So, oh, cool. Los Titas. Sounds like something else. And we got Los Ingobernables de Facción suddenly.
Yeah, it's basically what I'm saying is this is Drilistico and the Beast.
wait.
The beast. Mortos.
Right. Versus Hologram and Commander.
Lucha. That's
Yes, it was.
That's what I'm going to say.
And Harley Cameron was on commentary also for this match. But then at some point during the match that I looked away, and then when I looked back, Harley Graham was at ringside cheering for the Titanes.
The Titanes.
Mhm.
Why does she have to even be there? I know she's hologram, blah, blah, whatever, but come on.
She's trying to get these guys over. So
Is it working?
I'll tell you what I like about it. the two luchadors don't even acknowledge her whatsoever. Even when the even at the end of the match, so like yes, Hologram remains undefeated even in tag matches because they go over here. But even when they all get in the ring and like the referee raises everybody's hand and they're all like raising hands, like they still don't even like look at her really. They just she just like holds one of their hands and they're like not even paying attention. They're no selling Harley completely, which is great.
But you know what's funny? Even like I was saying this last week, when they make their entrance, you notice she gives them space, dude.
Well, she wasn't with them in the entrance.
Yeah, I know, but last week is a classic example. She totally like gave him so much leeway and then came back out, sort of thing, which was kind of bizarre to me. Yeah, I don't think they give a shit about her. I mean, does she even make sense other than being with Hologram, whatever's going on there?
Well, you know, CMLL, those guys take themselves pretty seriously, right?
They do.
They probably think it's stupid.
Same with Triple A.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, well, that was Slam Dunk Sunday.
Was it a slam dunk for you, Vet?
No. It was like when you have a clear lane and you take off from the free throw line and then just completely brick.
Completely brick.
Yeah, the ball just bounces off the rim, goes flying into the crowd. But AR Fox was over, so you know. Foxy.
They need to start chanting like that. If it was in Australia, they'll be chanting Foxy for sure.
They sure will. All right, time for Dynamite.
Boom.
Blake Christian.
Yes, I know. Ring of Honor. I don't know why he's here.
Yeah, with Lee Johnson versus Kenny Omega.
That's shoddy, man. I couldn't believe he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny,
Shoddy Lee.
Shoddy Lee. Wait.
Dark Julia's husband.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're married for real. But
right, not her dark husband, but Dark Julia's husband.
Yeah, not. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Where was I? I totally got thrown off. Oh yeah, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega comes out. This was the match was fine, right? And
strong
Kenny obviously
win.
gets the win. Strong win. After this is what's weird, bro. Speedball is awkward, dude. And Kenny just destroyed him with what he was replying with. First of all, why did he congratulate him for and thank him? And he's like,
don't know.
He's like, thanks, I think. You know what I mean? Like his reaction, he was like, what the fuck? What are you on? It's like Speedball is really nervous, dude.
I mean, he's always like this. He's just a nerd.
he's
like the whitest of the white bread, the goodiest of the two shoes.
The Canadian of Canadians.
Yeah, he's very Canadian.
Extremely.
French Canadian even.
And you could tell by his accent.
Yeah. So this is just how he is. There's no point in complaining about it. I just, you know, this is what
French
it is.
Canadians are kind of cooler though, if you know what I mean.
I mean,
Not this
sometimes,
one.
but so anyway, yeah, but that's basically what you're going to get. I mean, it's been a while since pro wrestling has seen such a clean cut, pure baby face that they probably don't know what it looks like anymore. But
too clean, would you say?
Yeah, that's just what it is. But it does come off as awkward at times. And
dude, he's awkward, man.
Anybody that can make Kenny Omega seem like he's edgy has got to be like.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Kenny looked like he was a total pro with all these schmucks.
Yeah. So
even on the mic, even verbally, he just came across on a different level. And that's not even his strong suit. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, Kenny Omega is like a wrestler. Mike Bailey's like the kid that took mall karate since 4th grade.
God.
And he became this. So.
And stop doing this, man.
We got to skip past all that because guess who was kind enough to Skype in from his wedding or whatever. Oh yeah, Skype doesn't exist anymore. He's FaceTiming in from his wedding.
Yeah, Ricochet.
Yeah. And I know that was legit because I saw the pictures. That's what he was wearing in those
I saw that too.
Pictures.
And they took a photo with the fake Michael Jackson, I think, as well, if you saw that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that wasn't the wrestling Michael Jackson, was it?
No. I've seen that one though. That's pretty funny. No, it wasn't. This was I think they got married in a Vegas the friggin' random Vegas churches where you can get married, man. You know what I mean? They've done it the cheap way, or the quick way, should I say?
Awesome.
Yeah. Congratulations, I guess, to Mr. and Mrs. Ricochet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And congratulations to Ricochet for trying to save this mess.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It was awkward.
yeah, it was an awkward out because Kenny just left and then Speedball was just
Ricochet.
there.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, I guess he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, awkward.
All right. Chris Jericho tells the learning tree that they've been fucking up and not learning his lessons, so they need to branch out, so to speak. Those are actually my words, not his. I don't think he said that.
Are you sure?
I'm not that sure. I'm pretty sure I made it up.
Okay. 'Cause that sounds familiar, that's all.
Yeah. Well, you're just probably familiar with my genius and being the best in the world, so you're
There's that
confused. You're
too.
probably giving Jericho too much
I'm
credit
flustered.
here, but
I'm always flustered when I see you, Red.
But I think Bandito, I think he has to put his mask on the line for Chris Jericho to give him a Ring of Honor title shot. I think that's what Jericho's asking here.
You're correct. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Then we get MJF, and then here comes MVP, and MJF has thought about it, and yes, he accepts MVP's offer. However, here comes the rest of the Hurt Syndicate. Like, they didn't know that. Here comes Bobby and Shelton acting like they didn't know that last week MVP was talking to MJF on live television and offered him the business card. So now they're mad, and they come out and they have a little bit of an objection to the idea of MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate. And then the learning tree definitely objects. They're like, hey, get the fuck out of here. We challenge you, the tag team champions, for your tag team championships. And MVP says what he usually says, which is you have to earn it. You have to beat somebody and actually do something to get a title shot. So until you do that, kick rocks.
You know what? I felt like they were off the cuff here, man, because I felt like MVP embarrassed both Big Bill and Bekeith in some ways, even though I like the way Bekeith just came out and just started like full blown, like, I don't give a shit who you motherfuckers are. You know what I mean? We want those bouts. I kind of like that, the way he did that. But MVP just made them both look like clowns in a way. And then to the point where Big Bill looked like he was getting kind of angry, like legit, where he started speaking up. But when you call someone a bitch after you got called a bitch 3 times, you lost, dude. Plain and simple. You don't repeat what the other dude said, but he did, and he fell for it. And just like MVP said, I just said 3 times that get your little bitch away from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued.
Again, there's already a guy who's got merchandise with bitch on it. So why are they? Come on.
The company's weird, dude.
A little respect.
Bad.
All right. Renee Moxley Good is with Tony and Thunder Rosa. I think they come up with a new tag team name here.
You know what? I didn't even pay attention to what they said. So
all right, well, we'll get to that later then.
Okay.
Next is the match we all wanted to see: Brody King versus Kyle Fletcher.
Jesus Christ, man! This match, I'm sick of everyone barking. Did you see how intense the fans were barking, dude? When they were getting to the rail, you just see everyone like woof, woof, like intensely, like weirdos. I'm like, these guys are weird. But that's not only that. Poor old big ass Brody Lee, like he looked strong for most of the match, but then Fletcher with that weird finish, dude. That looked like he's got to stop doing that move, bro. What does he call it? Where he kind of suplex pole driver hybrid onto the top turnbuckle, which looks dangerous as hell, dude.
I'm not sure. I forget if he has a name for it. Maybe Zane Vicious could chime in with that because he's usually on top of that kind of stuff. But it seems pretty dangerous, especially for a guy as big as Brody. But there must be some. He must have some trick to it somewhere where it looks worse than it is, because most people just wouldn't take it if it was that dangerous. So it must be safer than it looks.
I hope so, because it looks devastating if it is safe. Put it that way.
If you haven't seen it, it's basically he looks like He basically looks like he's doing a brain buster, but instead of taking you to the floor, he just drops you straight on the top turnbuckle.
Literally,
neck.
like, you know what? Though I will say one thing about Fletcher. He's really starting to look like $1 million, dude. No, for real. Like, and I'm not a big fan of his, but he's looking really good.
Well, he may look good, but his most defining trait is still that he's just Australian.
That's
Other than
true.
that, he's just a bald white guy. Well, at least he doesn't have a beard, so that's different.
True, and he doesn't have long hair either.
Yeah.
But then again, like you said, he's bald though. So
Yeah, he's bald. Everybody's bald with a beard, so
that's true. You're right.
Speaking of with a beard, so Mark Davis during this match, he ran down to the apron just to stand there.
He's awkward, dude, and he does that. You know, the Hacksaw Jim Duggan sort of facials. Do you know what I'm talking about? That like that sideways mouth thing. He looks like an idiot when he's doing it, dude. I can't stand him doing it. He looks like just a weird cat. He's got a weird body. He's Australian. He's just weird, bro. There's nothing for him to do, man. Like, they're just throwing him out there. He doesn't even know what to do. Because if you notice, Fletcher's like trying to direct him, and he still looks awkward. And these guys have been together for how long? You'd think he'd know a thing or two, but I just think he's useless. Just get rid of this guy, man.
Well, I mean, you kind of just sound like me the first time I ever saw these guys as a tag team like 3-4 years ago.
I liked Aussie Open as a tag team, believe it or not. I used to talk about them years ago.
Right.
And I've followed their careers, but when now them separated, it just feels like Dunkzilla, whatever you want to call him. Fletcher's on a different level now that they've split, man. That was the best thing that could have happened to him. I'm talking about between the two, not compared to everyone else. I do see AEW have a big future for him. They seem to like Fletcher, man. And he is looking good. I'll give him that, body-wise.
I mean, you could say that, but I would also like to just point out the fact that, like I said, however long ago I first saw these guys, I was already saying that I didn't see anything in them, right?
Right.
And all these years later, they split up or whatever, but I'm still saying the same things about each of them. They both, like, one's a young kid that everything he does looks like it's going to hurt somebody, and the other one's awkward and sucks.
Yeah.
And looks like he's going to hurt somebody. So nothing has changed, even though their position in the wrestling business has completely changed. Nothing about them has changed. They're just not a tag team anymore. But I saw all this same shit back then. So again, everybody's like 4 or 5 years behind me in terms of like what I see as marketability, but we'll see what happens from here. But what happens from here is after they're going to probably beat up Brody King some more, because you can't just end a match, right? Here comes Powerhouse Hobbs to make a save, and that turns into a brawl between him and Davis, and then the refs come out, and then security comes out, and Christopher Daniels comes out, and that turns into a match of Mark Davis versus Powerhouse Hobbs, in which Powerhouse Hobbs wins with a spine buster.
Powerhouse.
RBV with a comment. Yes, exactly what I was trying to allude to. So I said Hacksaw Jim Duggan facial. You know what I mean?
So yeah. So we have Lexi and the Patriarchy minus the Patriarch.
Right.
So that means you have to get a Nick Wayne promo.
Yeah.
Then we get Renee with Hang Person. And then Swerve and Nana come in and they say stuff. And then we get Shivani with Rated FTR and they want the trios titles. And then Swerve goes out to the ring and calls out Moxley. And then they just blah, 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 blah. The same old shit. Swerve is trying to say cool stuff, but he stumbles over it so it doesn't sound as cool because he stumbled. And Moxley does this, you know, what he usually does, where he's clearly talking about some bigger, broader perspective on things that just doesn't necessarily materialize in a wrestling match. You know, the words don't match his actions, really.
No, and he doesn't pay attention. He didn't even respond to what Swerve even said, to be fair. But Swerve was a whole lot of blah, blah, blah. He just goes, I know you better than you know yourself. Like, you know, and blah, blah, blah.
I am violence.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The unscripted violence part 2, where Swerve called himself, you know, I am unscripted violence, whereas you're not even who you are and blah, blah, blah.
That's the craziest part of it. the craziest part of it is this absolutely scripted violence.
It actually is scripted. I know, you're right. But
So
blah, blah, blah.
you mean you just you know, in that cage match you just had the syringe and or the cinder blocks, they were just in your pocket and you decided to use them? Like,
well, get this. Didn't Swerve say that he's done death matches and won? Actually, no. Wasn't it actually Moxley that won the CZW King of the Death match?
probably.
He has. Swerve hasn't. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. It's not your house.
He's just trying to say
Mox's
something
house.
that sounds cool in a promo. But anyway, the Sharks start to circle the ring at this point, and you know, Claudio's behind Nana outside the ring. He doesn't do anything, but he's there. Then Marina comes in with a crowbar, but then here comes Willow with that fake wrestling pipe. You always have to have that same paper towel roll that looks silver, you know, like she's got one of those. So, you know, that's equalized there. Nothing happens. And then as everybody's like, okay, they finish talking shit to each other and they agree to part ways amicably. Okay. No one's fighting tonight. Mox isn't fighting tonight. So we're leaving. And as they're leaving, Marina and Willow start to go at it. And then for some reason, again, Prince Nana thinks it's important to try to hold Willow back. I can understand, like, you know, Claudio or Moxley trying to hold Marina back because they're already trying to leave. So I can understand them being like, let's just go. But why would Nana care if Willow wants to get a piece? It's none of his business.
Especially as the baby faces, right? I mean,
yeah, it's weird. They just wanted to do a pull apart because they haven't had one in a while. So they haven't had a pull apart since the last segment. So we needed to do another one. That's basically what happened.
Did you notice the briefcase or whatever it is now taped shut?
Is that a bandage?
I'm not kidding. It's fully
is that a
taped.
Is that a bandage because the time when Edge hit it with Spike?
Probably. I mean, shit. I mean, I would have put it past him, but RBV says in the chat, growing up on these mean streets of Cincinnati, of Cincy, every day was a death match to survive. You pussies wouldn't get what we've been through. Hashtag Cincy style. Well, you're from Jonathan Good's, you know, hometown. So, yeah, Cincy. I mean, if he says it, I believe it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, if I had to eat Skyline chili all the time, I'd turn into a homicidal maniac as well.
Oh, shit.
So Hook and Samoa Joe are walking because they're just
weird.
hanging out and chilling, and Joe's asking him why he didn't let go of that, you know, that sleeper last time, and he's like, because it's fun, and he's like, really? And then they happen upon Max Caster talking to Top Flight, and Joe sneaks up behind Max Caster, puts him to sleep, and then he's like, yeah, it is fun. It is fun. I
liked
get
it.
Yeah.
I actually liked it, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny that they're becoming very, you know, close and shit. But when we're supposed to see Shibata, technically, that's what the announcer said. But
He was
we didn't
holding the
see him,
camera.
So I assumed that was him holding the camera. Okay. Because we could hear him. We just didn't see him.
Yeah. He said Katsuyori Shibata is commandeered a camera.
Bless his heart or whatever he said. Too.
Of all the logic loopholes that they decide to cover, that is the most important one.
Apparently.
I'm glad they're getting the details somewhere, but try to get them everywhere.
Well, that's true.
Switchblade, he's back. He's coming to the Owen, and he's free for Collision. So if anybody wants to step up,
And
they
we
can
do get a
breathe with the
match.
Switchblade.
Right. We'll get to that when we do.
All right. Next is Top Flight versus not Top Flight.
Oh my God, dude. That's what I was thinking. They look like it's no shit. They look like the same team, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a great thing. I'm glad you said that, man, because that's exactly what was going through my mind. I'm like, are these guys like, you know, the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at
Yeah.
It felt like that, man. They look like twins on both ends.
Yep.
Who were these kids, man?
I didn't write their names down this time, but I assume they were local guys because I never seen them before. They look like a tag team. They didn't look just like two guys put together because they had matching gear.
Right.
So
the purple black, they look like Dark Order-ish in a way.
ooh,
Yeah, maybe we'll get a comeback.
join the Dark Order.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
They need
please
people,
no.
so
They
maybe
do.
They
Are they
should join
even-
the Dark Order.
Are they still around? Are they still signed? Are they in
I think
Ring of Honor
allegedly
even?
they're on Ring of Honor, but I don't know.
You can-
Well, anyway, yeah, you know who wins this? The Learning Tree is watching this match intently, and also the crew is in the front row, also watching the match.
Because everyone was so interested in Top Flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez.
They want to let you know that Ospreay is going to return for Dynamite in Peoria, Illinois. What a treat!
Where? Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria, Illinois. What a treat for those people.
Wow.
You
Big
get to
city.
see Billy Goat, Billy the Goat.
Billy the I just had to.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, cool, I guess.
So then you know. All right, now for no reason whatsoever, Mark Briscoe
one,
versus Konosuke Takeshita.
No reason.
I mean,
These
I guess
Dynamite
we've
fat
gotten
boys.
worse things for no reason, so we should be happy with this. But
The
it was
match
just
wasn't that
strange
good.
how a lot of the other matches had at least some sort of something leading into it. I mean, maybe
the
not this.
Fletcher Brody was pretty much for nothing too, in a way. Well, wouldn't you say?
All right, maybe no match had anything leading up to it. So why should this be any different?
That's right.
But at least it was a nice singles match where there was no shenanigans and it was just a focus on two guys having a match. So for that, I enjoyed it. Mark Briscoe, so that means it's on my a la carte menu. A nice singles match with Mark Briscoe. He doesn't pick up the win here, but it was a pretty good match.
Man, he's been just putting over everybody at this point. He's not. When was the last time he got a proper win, dude? It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's actually been a while, dude. As far as I
Oh,
can
he beat
remember.
Kyle Fletcher in the Continental Classic.
That was ages ago now. How many
So-
weeks ago was that?
But that answers your question. That's the last time he had a proper win.
Well, yeah, that was like what, 5 weeks ago, probably at this point. Maybe longer,
So-
possibly.
Yeah, and Kyle Fletcher got a win back on him anyway since then. So
Exactly.
all right. The Death Riders answer the Trios challenge from Rated FTR. They say, or Pac says,
All three
you don't
of them.
challenge us, we challenge you.
Okay,
How childish.
that's very childish.
Yeah. So
And
at
then Yuta
Dynasty,
was-
he said, we challenge you to survive.
Ooh.
They're going to kill him. They're going to kill him, Jimmy.
Oh no, where's Janice? We're gonna get Janice this time instead of Spike.
Yes.
Where's Abyss?
Man, if only can we just let both Janices rest in peace? Come on.
Oh well, it'd be nice, but no. We had to get brothers, sisters, and all sorts of family members.
Alicia tries to get a word with the Hurt Syndicate, and then they're like,
A toot.
yeah, she gets pushed out. They're like, Alicia, could you give us a minute, please? Could you give us a minute? And then they just leave the camera right there.
So
See what I'm
stupid,
saying
man.
about like they explain the Shibata thing, but then this, hey, we need a moment of privacy. Anyways, entire world, we'll just talk right here.
I hate that.
Like, you might as well just let her stand there. She could have just went to a monitor and saw everything.
You know, they got to stop doing this crap, man, because we see there's cameras, it's live, like whatever, right? But it's Wrestling 101, just stupidity. They continuously do this forever.
Anyway, so they question MVP about MJF joining, and does he trust him, and he can't be trusted, and MVP says he's grimy, but I like that, and I think we'll just, if you guys really don't like it, then we'll revisit that. But now we got to focus on Big Bill. He said we got to focus on Big Bill. He didn't even say the other guy. He didn't even say Brian BeKeith. He just was
Yeah, I
like,
feel
focus
like
on Big
it's-
Bill.
There's something about that, man. But anyway, you know, the truth is basically they don't want him in there because would MJF suit this group? You think?
I think you could get some great television out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. In the short term, absolutely, man, for sure. I think it would lead to a dynasty reunion. I mean, his boys are all out of contract right now, dude. If there's a time to bring it back.
Right. Now
It's
this
now.
is what I wouldn't do. Cause it's it's not that funny and it's kind of overdone.
Okay.
So what I wouldn't do is the whole MJF is trying to fit in with some cultural appropriation type
I know.
stuff.
I know.
Okay, if you don't do that, if rather than that, if MJF is kind of the more serious version, where he's like, okay, now my focus is, well, since you guys hurt people, now I'm going to start doing that. Like he has an arm breaker or a, you know, as a, like as a finish, like a finish hold, you know, the salt of the earth. So he could just start snapping people's arms with it and be like, look, I hurt people, you know, like this, he could do that. It just don't do cartoonish, you know, brochacho MJF, none of that
and black, white type of bullshit.
Yeah. Just be serious. If you make it a more serious thing of like MJF is trying to like usurp his way into the top of being like, maybe not only just MVP's favorite, but also being MVP.
Oh,
like
God.
if that's the long-term story, like he's trying to take over the group or something, something with just a little more serious edge, that would be interesting.
Right.
So yeah,
We'll
I
see
think
where
it
this
could
goes.
work.
We'll see. But the thing is, MJF doesn't play second fiddle, as you said. He's going to try to be the MVP, like, of the group, basically.
Right.
And then, yeah, but like Cold Blooded said, but it's not the same thing. Like Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination, it's not exactly the same. And he was the Black Heart, if you remember, in the Nation. Funny enough. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? But yeah, he was still.
Well, even
comedic
the
and
Nation of Domination started with like, didn't it start with like
guys.
Crush?
Yeah.
Crush and
the other two
Savio.
guys, the rappers, whatever.
Yeah.
I forgot their names now, but you know who I'm talking about. He used to come
JC
out
Ice and
rapping.
Wolfie D.
Oh, yeah, that's
PG-13.
it. There you go. Yeah. Well, I think they're Puerto Ricans even, maybe. Oh, no. I think one's white, actually, pure white. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, there were 3 white guys in there at first.
Yeah.
And Crush looked like an idiot, though. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, so you know, I could definitely see them. That could potentially be the best stuff we've seen in a while if they do it right. So let's see what they do.
I hope so.
RBV says, after a month of kicking it with the Hurt Syndicate, can MJF say it? No, he can't.
No.
He can't say it.
And I was thinking that, like, he starts becoming Vince McMahon, basically.
Yeah.
God, imagine that.
All right. Well, we got the main event now. It is Penelope and Megan versus Thunder Tits.
That's it. Thunder Tits. You know what, man? I zoned out at this point, man. Why is this a main event?
She's the AEW Women's Champion.
I
Jimmy. Are
get
you saying
that.
she's not
I get
worthy?
it with Tony. I get it with Tony. The other 3, even Bane. I mean, and now she's from
Thunder Rosa's a
Thessaloniki.
former Women's Champion, Jimmy.
She's just dipping.
Yeah, but
steady
look,
dipping,
but now
dude.
she's coming back up.
Oh,
Main
yeah.
event.
She's coming. Yeah, cool, sure. You can't fool me. She's just not the same Thunder Rosa, you know, not the same hype, not anything. If I were her, just try to get out, man. You're done. You're done in this company. You're just nothing more than a glorified jobber for these women, man. Honestly.
Well, anyway,
They lost too, mind you.
yeah. Well, they had a perfectly serviceable match as long as it was one of those ones that was seen on a local indie with no cameras around, and
Oh, yeah.
you know.
I was getting sleepy, man, in this match. This match sucked, dude. It really did. It shouldn't have been a main event. Thunder Tits lost. Surprise, surprise. They're pushing Bane.
Not only they lose, Tony lost.
Tony lost. She got the
Megan
I know,
Bane.
What was up with that?
Megan Bane beats her with Fate's Descent.
She's not from Thessaloniki, by the way. Okay, I don't care what they say. She's from Connecticut, actually, just quietly. But anyway, whatever. She's a Greek goddess. She looks like a goddess. I mean, she looks amazing. I'll say that. RBV said it earlier. No, Josh. The power of the phone wasn't calling. Actually, it was the power of the pillow was calling. I was getting sleepy, bro. But yeah, it was for me a bad way to finish off Dynamite, man.
Well, I don't really care, so I'll leave that opinion to be entirely yours. It was a bad way to finish off Dynamite. But here's what I did like. Whether you like the ending of Dynamite or not, whether you like the ending of Dynamite or not, did you like that Collision picks up right where we left off with Tony Storm coming out and addressing the situation.
I mean, that's at least there's some continuity. I mean, continuing. I can't even say it. You know what I'm trying to say? For some reason, I'm tongue twisting it. So yeah, I don't mind that, but I'm not really invested in this feud.
Right. Well, anyway, she calls out Megan. Megan doesn't come out. So she gets the spotlight and starts, doing one of her promos. And then she gets up to the camera that's up on the ropes. And then in a pretty good shot, Penelope comes in with a Yakuza kick right in the face, like right on the camera frame. And she sticks her face right in the frame with a Joker smile. I actually like the way that looked. But
yeah, that was pretty cool.
And it also, what's good about it is, one of the things I don't like about pro wrestling is when they shoot somebody like close up tight, and then that's only so that you can't see the person coming in off the screen.
Right.
Whereas in the building, everyone can see it. Right.
Right.
So including the wrestler, like how many times do you see like a backstage interview where someone's standing there getting interviewed and then someone comes in from off the screen and attacks them? It's like, you would have seen them with your peripheral vision.
I know, because they're coming from like pretty
Right.
much in your vision too. Like,
right. So it's not like they can only see what the camera sees, but that's how the TV show treats it. Right. With this, the arena's dark because Tony had the spotlight in the middle of the ring. So when she leaves the spotlight to come up to the front where the camera's at, the rest of the thing is still dark. So you could make an argument that she wouldn't see Penelope running in from the side. I mean, she probably still would, but you at least there's somewhat of a feasibility there. So it looked cool. It actually is my favorite kind of like production thing about the whole week. So if you didn't see this, I would say go check out this spot just to see how it looks with her coming in with the kick. So she boots her in the face, and then here comes Megan. She takes Tony out, hits a Fate's Descent again, and once again the champ is left lying on her back.
Well, that's all right, because we all know that Bane's going to end up eating the pin when they do wrestle at Dynasty. I mean, it's dead obvious. And then what? So you built her up as one big tough goddess just to lose to Tony anyway. If they had balls, they would actually...
Small package, probably.
Oh, come on, man. Everyone has to do a small package in every freaking promotion to win a match. I don't know why that's an obsession now. It's like a thing. Why?
Well, because Tony Storm is getting it over.
Do they even call it a small package anymore? They don't. It's just a roll-up these days. Isn't that what they call it?
No, that's what all the lazy pundits call it.
Yeah, but they got in freaking. They really got in lazy. Yeah, Zane, strong win. It will be a strong win for Storm come Sunday. It's on a Sunday, right? Dynasty, not Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday. I don't know. I guess, that's the classic story is that you beat the monster with wrestling if you can't outpower them. So if they tell that story in a correct way, then it's believable. And Tony, to her credit, has been, or whoever's idea it was, credit, ever since she came back as, rock star Tony Storm, whatever, she was winning matches with small packages and roll-ups, just like, like you would expect a rookie to get a surprise win, so she's telling the story with the move. It's not like they just do it just to do it as like a lazy booking finish. So it actually makes sense. So, or Storm could win by DQ. Anything could happen, really. Or Megan Bane could win. Who knows? It's I wouldn't put it past them. If they had balls, let Bane win, since she's been so dominant. But then again, I don't know if she's worthy to be champion yet, because she's very green still, dude. Yeah. It doesn't matter. That's AEW. Yeah, exactly. Who cares about greenness? Let's see. We go back to the Death Riders. They do a promo. Claudio's doing a promo. He thinks Adam is losing his edge and trying to cope with it. Ooh, see what he did there, Vet? I do. I see it. Ooh, he's smart. We learn that Jon Moxley, the only people he's afraid of in his life are women. And that includes Marina. And Marina is going to see if Willow will keep smiling if Marina rips out her liver and feeds it to her. Cool.
Intriguing stuff.
What, you don't want to see? You don't want to see a liver eating match?
It just sounds whack, bro. Imagine that, a liver eating match. Yeah, sure. I'd love to see that. I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm. Well, here's something you'll love to see: Jay White.
Yeah, that I want to see.
Versus Kevin Knight, the jet setter. Kevin Knight,
the jet setter.
That's right. He's
a flying people.
What is him and Kushida are the tag team? What are they? The Intergalactic Jet Setters, I think is their name.
I can't remember, but something like that. It's always something like that when it involves Kushida, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Kushida's not here. It's just Kevin, and he's taking on Jay. And now, this is why I finally just get to sit down, my knife and fork, and get a nice Jay Mignon. Haven't had this nice in so long. The match was a fine TV match. It was a fine TV match in the middle of a TV, right where it belonged, the kind of match it needed to be. Jay White being a sort of a baby face, but taking the heel role, even though he's kind of a heel and never really stopped being a heel, but he's just not being as big of a heel. He's being a baby face in the way that a heel would. If that makes any sense.
Does that make
Look,
sense? Right.
It's asking a lot, but Jay is pulling it off somehow, because when Kevin Knight came out, now, you know how the other week I was kind of like lecturing podcasters for lying about, things on the air, just as straight up saying, like, when, like again, Ray did it again on I Like It Raw, talking about Lyra Valkyria getting no reaction. Of course she got a reaction, but he's saying nobody did anything. Yes, they did. He's just lying, right? Because he's trying to get his bullshit point across. Not even remembering how much he used to put her over in NXT. Now all of a sudden he's completely turned on her for no reason. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Wait till I see him on Tuesday morning. Yes. Can't wait.
Yes. So, yeah, I remember because I was there across from him.
I know. That's why.
So,
and you got a good memory too, by the way.
Yeah.
So I believe you.
Yeah, I'm like Gary. Like, I'm not gonna forget.
There he is.
But so anyways, Kevin Knight came out. He did get no reaction. Like, nobody knew when his name came up on the screen before he came out. There was no noise because everybody's like, they haven't seen him. When he actually came out, there was some very, very slight, polite applause. Like, just, I guess, like, they haven't seen him. So why are they supposed to care after Jay White came out first, right? So anyways, they have the match, and at the end of it, because of Jay and because of the match they had, the crowd got into it. And of course they were solidly behind Jay because he's the guy they know. But then afterwards, Jay's like, let's hear it for Kevin Knight. And then everybody gives it to Kevin Knight and a nice reaction. So he made a guy in one night, and you're shaking your head. So what do you got to say?
Because, I mean, yeah, it's because of Jay, of course. And I love that. Cool. But that's not Jay, though. Jay doesn't do that shit.
Yeah, he doesn't do it, but he did it. So let's just talk about...
That's why.
Yeah, we're talking about how do you get... Especially, that's even a better point to my point. Jay White doesn't do this, but he was able to do it. Right?
True. I mean, spot on.
So the guy's a fucking magician. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
He's one of our favorites, that's for sure. But who is this Jay White, bro? Like, I don't recognize it. I don't recognize him. I'm happy to see him.
Right.
But,
well, we'll get to that. But for now, the kid got a job. I'm not saying that he got it, like, he had to have this match first and then get a job. They probably already decided they were going to give him a job anyways.
No, definitely.
Right. But we always talk about, I mean, what are we always talking about? Especially at HMG. Ben always calls everybody a bunch of fucking amateurs. Everybody's always talking about how nobody knows how to do anything anymore, right? So I want to give credit to the people that do know how to do things. If they tell Jay White, hey, get the kid over, he got him over a little bit. He's not going to get him over to the entire world in one night on a random collision match. But for the people in the building went from zero reaction to a nice round of applause. So
Got the
Yeah.
round of applause.
Right. And that's what Jay White was asked to do. Now, should they have asked him to do that? That's the debate, right? We want to see the heel Jay White. We want to see the Jay White we know. We want to see the Jay White that gets heat and has everybody hating him, and the guy that you just can't wait to see him get punched in the mouth and shut him up. That's what we want to see, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
I mean, he's the best at that. I mean, that's
right.
That's
He's
him.
the best. He's the best at that. And now he's showing the versatility of, I can also do this if I have to. Without, nothing he did was necessarily completely out of character,
I
because
get you.
even the heel Jay White can recognize, like, well, I don't have any personal history with this kid other than we both went through the New Japan dojo. So the heel Jay White could be thinking, I can get this kid on my side one day. Maybe he'll be a Bullet Club Gold member one day. It makes sense even in a kayfabe saying he's got nothing against him, so why should he be a dick right away, right?
No, well, when you put it like that, absolutely. But it also comes across like we're hoping for too much here. We're hoping like that's the end game. But
I look at it,
Jay's smart enough to think that way.
Right. I look at it as we can hope all we want, but all we can really do is review what happened.
Well,
So
yeah, that's right.
If Jay White was like, you know, doing a bunch of stuff he would never do, if he was going out there and doing drop kicks and firing up and saying, come on,
Oh my
baby,
God.
and like
Shaking the ropes.
Yeah, he never did anything he wouldn't do. And so I feel like it's very challenging for him to try to do the things that he's asked to do while still maintain his personality in the wrestling business that he's trying to create. He spent all these years creating this character and being this guy, and he's being asked to do things that guy wouldn't normally do. So he's trying to figure out a way to do it the way that guy would do it and make it make sense. So I can't put him over enough for that. That's one of the reasons why I talk him up so much, because he keeps having opportunities to drop the ball and he just doesn't do it.
Well, put it this way: I think you, myself, and Jago are the biggest Jay supporters on the planet, in some ways. But no, you're right, man. It just shows how far he's got. He's gone. He's become such a he's so good, and we've seen him from the start with the tidy whities, like you said a few weeks ago, all the way to this, and even at the start of the Switchblade character, you saw it evolve like bit by bit by bit, and now we got what we got now. I just hope they just allow him to be him. Do you know what I mean? And not screw him over. That's what worries me, man. But hopefully they don't do that to him, man. Because it feels like with AEW, once it's like you've got this expiry date, even though you're still signed. But once you've gone through a deep sort of feud, they tend to put you off TV for some reason for a while. Not with everyone, but they do that to a lot of them.
Yeah, I wonder what will happen. But he does a promo after the match, after he asks for Kevin Knight to get a round of applause, and then he also says, that was your cue to leave, but apparently Minneapolis didn't think so because they were cheering for him. So then he was like, okay, you can go now. So he leaves, and then he does the promo. He basically says, he needs to win the Owen because he needs to win the AEW championship, which is all he's wanted all this time. So he's still, no matter whether he's wrestling a random Kevin Knight on Collision, but he's still baked into the AEW title picture.
Do you think there's a good chance he could be the guy that wins the Owen? And if so, I think that's when we'll see him be the real heel. He's going to do something heelish to win that tournament in the end.
I think that's the best chance to finally get him back to where he should be.
That's the obvious chance too. It makes sense.
But how would that? I mean, if let's say Jon Moxley stays the champion, right?
Right.
Okay.
Which he probably will. I don't see Swerve winning.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Swerve could win. Like it could. They could say like, Dynasty is Swerve's night. He doesn't lose on Dynasty or something. I don't know.
Oh God, no! Please. That's when he won the championship too. It was on Dynasty, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I hope not. It just doesn't feel like he's got that sort of. Last year, you knew he was going to win it. He had that momentum. This time around, I don't feel that momentum, dude.
Yeah, well, nobody does. So
Yeah.
let's just assume John Moxley's there. If
Right.
Jay White somehow wins the Owen and wins at All In main event, can you see
Imagine
All In
that.
main event being a John Moxley and Jay White showdown? I don't. It's probably gonna be Ospreay, but
Yeah. You're probably right.
I think they want Moxley to hold it until Ospreay can get it.
Yeah, but will they wait till Forbidden Door in England to do that, say, with Ospreay? No?
No, they would just rather him come into Forbidden Door as champion.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, well, again, that's a 90% chance. There's always the 10% chance they're out of their fucking minds. But anyways,
I dare
the
say
point
95% chance, actually.
yeah, the point is, I don't. If Jay White were to somehow beat John Moxley for the championship, he would be the biggest hero ever because everybody hates John Moxley.
Face, I know, fucking hell.
Even
dude.
if he turned heel and had like an entire new Bullet Club Gold, just beat everybody other than the Death Riders, that would still be a baby
baby
move.
face. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, nah. When you put it like that, unless they want him to be totally baby face, but then it defeats the purpose of him cheating to win the Owen, right? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Now that you put it that way,
or he could win the Owen as a baby face, but look, it's not going to happen. It's Ospreay.
Yeah.
Just
right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just deal with it. It's Ospreay, and we just had to deal with it. Here's what else we have to deal with. MJF is at the Texas Rangers opening day. He's throwing out the first pitch. He's saying, I like what he's saying. He's like, I'm forced to be here. Tony Khan forced me to be here and put on this Rangers jersey. And then he's like, he said something about how I understand why Bobby Lashley's mad. It's because he's from Texas and they asked me to do this and not him. So I get it.
He's not from Texas.
Huh? Well, he lives there, I guess.
Oh, does he? Okay. Because isn't he from Colorado?
I don't fucking. They said that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's actually born there. But anyway, who cares?
Yeah. So yeah, that happens, and then we got a tweet from Athena in front of Mercedes' locker room saying, "I might say hi tonight."
I'm worried, dude. And we don't worry. We get to see her.
Yeah, we're going right into it. We get Mercedes money. 4 belts money.
4 belts could be 5.
CEO.
CEO.
Say hello to your CEO. And say hello to Robin Renegade. Remember her?
Yes. And I like
She's
the
back.
Renegade sisters, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Where's your sister, man?
I don't know.
They're the best jobbers. They should sign these two. Honestly, and they still
Well,
haven't.
I mean, they're pretty much signed.
Well, I haven't watched Ring of Honor. I'm assuming they're on Ring of Honor a lot. Okay.
Yeah, that counts as signed.
I didn't know.
But anyway, yeah. So she takes the money maker and the statement maker and taps out, and then she says, "I don't have enough belts. I'm going to enter the Owen." And then Shivani's in the ring, by the way. He comes in to interview.
Of course he is.
Yeah. And he's like, "What about Billy Starks? She gave you a handful." And she's like, "Don't talk about Billy Starks. She's trash. Whoever trained her is trash. Who trained her anyway? She sucks." And then all of a sudden they play Athena's music, and Athena shows up.
I love Athena, dude, but
Do you?
I do. I'm a big fan. I haven't seen her in a long time because I just don't watch Ring of Honor. But going by what you're saying, it's half intriguing. But
Uh-oh. He's frozen. He's frozen. Let it go. Let it go.
there we are. Jeez, my internet
Okay.
fucked up for once.
Okay.
But anyway, who do you put over in this match when they face each other at Dynasty? It's a hard one, dude. And who's the right person to get the win too, technically?
Okay, so is a match at Dynasty going to just be them for one of the championships, or is this is this a Owen tournament match?
Oh, good question. They haven't actually said, other than what's Money said, that she's going to be in the Owen. I have no idea, dude, to be fair.
If it's a non-title,
Then Athena wins.
I don't
If
know.
it's non-title.
No, if it's non-title, maybe Mercedes. Because if Mercedes goes on to win and challenge Toni Storm, that's a big match.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
It is a big match. But either one,
But I don't
think
want
it'd
to.
be great.
Yeah, but I don't want to sacrifice Athena at the altar of Mercedes just yet. So
That's what I'm saying. Is it the right time for these two to face each other just right now?
I don't know. I would put it like this: if they're just having if Athena comes in, I don't know what their plans are. Athena's been in Ring of Honor long enough. There's not much else she can do. So this is what I do. Fuck everything else. If you put them in a match for the TBS championship, then, you know, Athena goes over, takes the belt. She's now the TBS champion. And that is her entrance into AEW, and
AEW,
she continues from there. Mercedes goes on to win the Owen and face Toni Storm. Maybe along the way, she loses all the other belts.
Wow,
And then she wins she beats Toni at All In.
To become the, world women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
If it has a strong feeling of, if that match does go ahead, it's like, the ultimate challenge, Vet, between Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, because it was Money and Stormy in a match for all the gold. But I like that idea, though, what you said, where she's losing every bout, like, by the time we get to that point, where she's just having a nervous breakdown, like she's just losing her shit.
Mm-hmm.
It would be better if it's because of Athena that she's losing all those bouts.
Right.
too.
Athena's where it starts because she lost the
Right.
TBS championship. And then she
Right.
loses another championship and so on and so forth. And then
I can
everybody's
see
going to
that.
assume that Toni should just beat her then, but she won't.
No, I don't see it either. But Vet, is Tony Khan smart enough to think this way?
No, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just saying, you ask me what I would do. I don't care what
Right.
they do.
And I love
as long
it.
as Athena just needs to be on these televisions.
Right.
Yeah. However she gets on there, it's a la carte. Whatever she does, a la carte. And what she does here is she gets into a scuffle with Monet, and then she goes to hit the O-face, and Monet powders, so she hits the O-face on poor Robin Renegade, who was still there.
Oh, well, someone had to get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, she got it.
She got it good. But,
Oh, and
I mean-
just to point out, Athena has like a spinner version of her Ring of Honor title.
yeah, what's up with that?
Well, you see, it would be like the John Cena spinner belt, except it's Athena.
Right, but why?
I don't know. I regret to inform you that I have kind of stopped skimming through Ring of Honor in recent weeks.
Okay,
I should
well,
probably
I
go back to
blame you.
doing that.
Can I ask, is she a heel in Ring of Honor technically? Because she would be,
Yes.
right? The way she's treating Billy Starks
yes.
and all that shit, right? Okay.
Yeah, she's the most heelish. She's completely domineering and rude and megalomaniacal and everything.
So who's going to be it's Monet that's going to be the clear heel in this match.
Right.
So I don't like the fact that you say in Ring of Honor, she's going to be completely different. And then in AEW, we're going to have the complete opposite, Athena.
No, I think she's just going to be the lesser of two evils in this case because she's cooler as a heel than Monet is as a heel. Monet is trying to be a heel that you don't like. Athena's
Right.
trying to be a heel that you don't like, but it's so funny that people are liking it. So it's not necessarily
mean-
the legit heat, but there's not much she can do at this point. It's just the way
I
it
need to
is.
see that. I need to watch that because it sounds actually interesting. It's probably the most interesting thing in Ring of Honor, if anything, by the sounds of it.
Oh, it's more interesting than everything in AEW.
Really?
Easily. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Easily. It's almost
check
like
it
they're
out.
left to their own over there, and it's like they're coming up with a good idea for themselves, and then everybody else has to just
So like Stevie Knight Heat.
kind of, yeah. That's what it feels like.
Wow.
Actually, when Nyla Rose got into the feud with Athena, like that was some really good TV for a few weeks there.
I can see that. I can say, is Nyla Rose always in Ring of Honor too at this point?
I don't know. I just know she was there that time.
Maybe I do need to pay attention a little more. Maybe I'll talk to you later about it. But anyway, because I feel like we're missing a lot of shit at the same time, in a way with that.
Well, if it's important, it's their job to kind of catch us up a little bit. So.
That's true.
All right, so Lexi's with Queen Aminata. She has a wrist injury now. And then Serena Deeb comes up and she's like, I told you so. And she's like, all you got to do is listen. And she's like, well, even though you're probably right, I'm still not going to listen to you. And Deeb's like, all right, well, since you're injured, you're going to have plenty of time to think about it. So here, have some reading. And she shoves the playbook in her hands and leaves. So Queen Aminata is left with the 1,000 Holds playbook. Will she read it while she's recovering from her wrist injury?
Can she even hold the book?
It's tough. Maybe she could put it down on the table and turn the pages with the other hand. Maybe. I mean, yeah. But again, this is sort of, I want to like this and I should like this, right? But it's kind of, we're not going anywhere. We're sort of stuck in the same, like it's the same thing, really. Like every time these two are interacting, I need these two to go somewhere else for once. You know what I mean? Okay.
And I hate saying that because of Serena, man. Serena knows better, you know what I mean? Completely. But then again, her hands are probably tied.
Well, actually, yeah, I actually really like Serena's promo here, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a promo exactly. She was talking to her, but I liked it.
Right. I mean, anything Serena does is great, man. It's just, I don't want to say she's phoning it in, but like, she's just on autopilot at this point, dude.
Yeah. What else can you do? Sometimes this is what you're given. This is the best you can do with it. Speaking of which, the learning tree's up. I mean, they got to prove themselves to Chris Jericho. So they're taking on Top Flight and Layla Gray's back.
Where was she this whole time, dude? Like, what? She back in OVW?
Maybe she was in an extended layover in one of the Midwestern states or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Or she's a hostess, right? I mean, supposedly.
They prefer to be called flight attendants.
Oh, yes, that's right. Flight attendants.
Anyway, big choke slam from Big Bill to win this match for the learning tree. And kind of to your point about, the learning tree having to be like frustrated because of being called bitches and then having to get yelled at by Jericho and all this stuff.
It looks like it.
Yeah, by the end of this match, it looked like Bill was definitely feeling all that because he was pissed and he killed these kids and beat them. So, like he's Big Bill has got the storyline in his head as he's in the ring to get over the fact that, yes, he is frustrated. He's not just completely no-selling all the stuff that's been happening to him. So I did see that come across. I'll give them credit for that, even though I don't really care about a match between the learning tree and Top Flight. I did like, the intensity that Bill and Bekeith always bring because they sell the angles.
Quite good, yeah.
They sell the angles they're in.
Yeah.
They don't just come to the ring and have the same match no matter what.
You're right. And you know what, dude? Can we just say people probably don't give him enough credit than what they should get? I think they're a lot better as a team than people give him credit for. They gel, dude.
Well, it's a great dynamic, right?
Absolutely.
You got a small guy and a big guy. You got different color guys. You got different complete gimmicks or whatever. And then they're both like, for different reasons, they align themselves with Chris Jericho. So
true.
It's, I don't know. It kind of works, I guess.
They don't need Jericho though. That's the thing. I think that would be great even without him.
No, I know that, but you wouldn't even be talking about these guys if it wasn't for him. Because they wouldn't even be a team. Right?
Fair point.
And Bekeith is only there because Ricky Starks isn't there. So
right. No, you're right. You're right. Spot on.
And I don't think Ricky Starks would bring the same thing that Bekeith is bringing to it.
Although it was reminiscent of Cope and Ricky Starks going at it with MVP and Bekeith, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a little bit. Only their version was much more of a working version.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Whereas the other one was just it got out of hand for
Yeah,
a
whereas
little
the
while
other
there.
one is in WWE now. So
Right, exactly.
so anyway, yeah. So that happens, and then the crew is going to slide in and again pick the bones like they did on Dynamite.
On Dynamite, yep.
Yeah, but AR Fox is there. The super over AR Fox is there to cut him off.
Super over.
Mhm.
That's true. Fox, man, he's all over the place now. Suddenly they're using him again everywhere, but it's all a facade again for him.
I
Anyway.
guess
He's not
he
gonna
took care of what he needed to take care of.
Well, that's it.
All right, Lexi is with Hayter, and she is also entering the Owens. Surprise, surprise.
She's been in it a couple of times, I think, already, right?
I guess. This is her first time entering as Austin Powers' couch, but
I know I hate her look, dude. You know, I've said it a million times. I can't stand this new, not improved Jamie Hayter. She's totally regressed.
you know what else you don't like?
Oh wow,
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole. How do you get it?
And
Remember
Daniel
at one
Garcia,
point-
daddy.
Oh man, I'm sick of this feud. Like, come on, dude. They're making this out to be, fuck that. One doing this, one doing this. Come on, man. I can't take this seriously, bro. I can't. And they're building it like it's a big time feud, dude. And it's just not working for me, brother. It isn't. I can't, man. You build them and destroyed them at the same time, and then trying to build them again.
But you do acknowledge that this particular face-to-face thing definitely made it feel more important than they had been making it feel, right?
Well, they're trying. They're trying to make it important, like absolutely. Right. But why does it have to be so important, really, with these two?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
That I don't know. But I'm only here to give credit for the work they do on the night, right? So,
well, yeah, okay. Well,
for these two guys, despite how much I actually cannot stand them and don't want to watch them and don't care about their match, they almost made me care a little bit just by what they were doing here. That's it. I'm just saying it was good in the moment.
No, look, you're right. I'll put all the bullshit aside, forget my feelings. For what it was, absolutely. The problem is, it's a facade still. So
yeah, it's still a facade, but whatever. It's all of wrestling's a facade. The whole thing's a grift.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
But I even like you know I don't like Daddy Magic, but even the part where he's like, yeah, even the part where he's like, hey, don't how many chances is this guy gonna get? You know, like I was thinking the same thing. I was like, exactly. How many chances do you need to give Adam Cole? Like, you don't have to do this. So if somebody in a wrestling promo is saying what I'm thinking in my mind, that obviously means they're on the right track, right?
Oh, well, I guess. I mean, they have to be. But who do you think will be who's going to get the rub in the end between these two, you think?
I don't know, cuz this whole thing's like a rub.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, but I'll give their segment here a B+. But anyway, at Dynasty, it's going to be nobody on the outside of the ring, no time limit.
Oh, no.
So we're going to have a winner here. If it takes all night.
Oh God, imagine that. Imagine they drained it where it's like, it's gonna be a 2-hour freaking Iron Man match. Imagine that, dude. Wow. That won't happen, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, now here is where you see Athena and Billy Stark. So if you haven't been watching their angle for the past 2 years, this is where you get to see Athena kind of talk down to Billy. And right now, I guess Billy is on her good side because technically she's a minion again. She's definitely had her minion status revoked in the past and had to start from the bottom. So, it's definitely been a love-hate relationship between Athena and Billy, but right now, it seems to be on the more positive side.
Actually, I just figured it out. Sasha Monet is the one with the money. She's the CEO, right? Mm-hmm. She's going to buy that minion to turn on friggin' Athena to win. I bet you that's what they're going to do because that's AEW, bro. That's how they think. Now it's even more obvious now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm putting my money on that. That's what's going to happen.
Interesting. Let's see.
Is it though?
I mean,
it's obvious in some ways. Only because of this segment, it just made me think about it. You know what I mean?
it would be fine, but like it doesn't. The thing that sucks about that is not the idea itself, but just the fact that a lot of the audience has missed the entire build up to that.
I know that's
because it's going to look like Billy Starks just turned on her, rather than it's been like several years.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But then they'll give the context on Dynamite or something and explain it.
Yeah, it's not enough though.
No, it's not enough.
That's the thing about wrestling, man. When you're a fan, you could come in, you could start being a fan at any point, but if you become a fan, it's up to you to catch yourself up on the history. You have to live the history for it to mean something.
Exactly.
You can't just be told, oh yeah, these guys were friends, and then that's why she turned on her, and that's why it's a betrayal. Like, that's not going to change your feelings about it. You need to live the experience, you know?
You need context, 100%. Absolutely.
So even if they recap it, it's not going to be the same. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe they won't even do that.
Yeah, I just thought about it. Like, I didn't want to say it before because it gives away this point. You know what I mean? That's jumping ahead. But it feels that way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm probably thinking way too deep because they don't think that deep. So, and it's not even really that deep. It's kind of obvious, but only because you got the CEO, the money bitch, Athena, and the minion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just comes across. That's Billy Starks getting her comeuppance, right? I mean, on Athena. So, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
But in the past, Billy's tried to get her comeuppance at least twice, and it never works out, and she keeps going back to her, which I also like. It's like you keep it's like you can't beat them, join them again,
like that abusive,
and again,
like, you know,
yeah.
Right. It's like all that
and
abuse.
It's like if she tried to do it a third time, I don't know if third time's going to be the charm, but maybe Monea's the difference maker.
Well, I see what you did there.
Yeah. But anyway, Athena's another entry in the Owen Cup, obviously. So now, oh man, I know everybody's excited about this one. It's Axe the Axe Axon versus Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, swerve, bro. Everyone's going to think that the FTR is going to break up there, but you know they're going to turn on fucking Cope.
All right, well, in case anybody didn't watch this, and I don't blame you, Wheeler Yuta seatbelted his ass. And if you don't know what that means, it's this crazy pin he does. So Dax gets beats clean. Or, yeah, Dax. Axe the Axe. Hollywood. No, he's not Hollywood because he's wearing the trunks again.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice? Liz says, why is Yuta's hair getting worse each week? Because he's on a downward spiral, Liz.
Yeah,
he's just getting grimier and grimier in that basement that they keep him locked in.
You know, he's like the troll of when I say troll, I'm not talking about like a troll on the internet. I'm
not like
Zane
Vicious, but like
not like Zane, right?
The under the bridge.
A troll. Exactly, under the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, the's no Pert Plus in the dungeon that they keep him in, so
clearly not. He's got oily hair now too.
But You know what I really noticed watching this match? Because like really whatever about the match, but what I noticed in the visual of it, I was just like, even though like Axe weighs a lot more.
What are you saying?
I'm saying he's got. I'm just saying what I'm saying. He weighs more than Wheeler Yuta for sure.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But when you look at them, you know, like fighting
or fun on. Oh yeah, fighting, right?
Fighting. When you look at them colliding here on Collision,
colliding,
it doesn't look that ridiculous. Like it's not like a mismatch or anything.
No,
and we know how small Wheeler Yuta is. So how small does that make Axe the Axe Axon look in comparison of like
he's small this way?
Yeah, he's short
this way.
Yeah, and he's short and stockier.
Right.
And Yuta's a lot leaner, but
and taller.
Yeah, but they don't look like it's a mismatch.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
But they,
yeah, I never thought that.
but people want to praise, FTR and whatever for.
Why? Explain. I know. Oh, sorry, Prof. I know. Again, you're a fan of theirs, and they're your favorite tag team. But they haven't been. Have they really been any good? Honestly, they're just phoning it in, dude. They're not really putting effort.
No,
I
don't think they're phoning it in. I just don't think they're that good.
Ooh,
think
that's
they never
even
have been.
worse. I'm trying to give him a freaking, the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah,
but
don't
not
do
that.
All right. So anyway, Wheeler seatbelts his ass, and then Axe goes and threatens Paul Turner like it's his fault for counting to 3. Then here comes a bunch of security. So security's never saved a referee before. I don't recall that.
Don't other referees save referees?
I guess you do now. Security comes out, and then here comes Cashin out, and
There's a bit of a
Axe is
face-off.
fighting off every referee in the building, or all the security. I mean, not referee, the security guards in the building. He's punching them all out, and then here comes Cash, and then he shoves Cash down before he even realizes who it is. He shoves him down. Then Cash is just like, "How could you?"
Like, oh God. We know. Look, they're gonna try to swerve us, bro, by thinking that they're gonna split. They're not splitting, dude.
Right.
I just don't see it.
All right.
Do you think they're gonna split?
No, I don't.
I know
care.
you don't care.
Yeah, I
but-
don't. Definitely don't care.
Oh,
Alicia's
there you go.
with Nick and Kip and the mom, and
Nick, Kip and Mum.
the crew come in. They basically they want to know what Nick is trying to do about this AR Fox situation. And he's like, "Oh, so you just want to, like, you just want our help because you're outnumbered and you can't deal with it." And they're like, "Yeah, well, basically, yeah."
He's so childish, man. How do you
This
can
is-
you take this shit seriously?
This past week is the most anybody's ever cared about AR Fox ever.
It's his week. Was it his birthday by any chance?
I don't know.
I should look. I'm gonna look that up. I swear, if it's his birthday, I'm gonna laugh. Because you know why he was all over television then. That's his birthday present. Let's
Must
see.
be.
I'll laugh if it is, dude.
See, we got a birthday present. It's hologram.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
Better
taking
love
on Blake Christian. And
it's not his birthday, by the way.
oh shit, when's his birthday?
Damn it. September 5th.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm disappointed now. Anyway.
well, maybe he's booked. Maybe he's booked for something else in September, and he won't be around for his birthday, so they want to give it to him now.
Maybe. Yeah, no, thank you, Josh. I know. I just looked it up, man.
All right, Blake Christian, who his gimmick on his tights and on his ring video says Vanilla Boy.
Yeah, is this supposed to be some sort of white friggin' like, is he part of a crew like that? Do you know what I mean? Why is he a white vanilla guy? Like, what is he? Is he a wannabe black dude? Like,
No, he looks like one of those the albino
white
mixed
vanillas.
kids.
I know. It's true.
Like a ginger.
Well, he's kind of, yeah. I know what you're saying. I know he's sandy blonde per se. Yeah, either way, he's very white. He's very vanilla, actually.
Yeah, Vanilla Baby. Vanilla Baby, it says.
But why baby? How old is he, man? Gosh.
Is that like a Janela Baby thing?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. But anyway, whatever. It's stupid. If you're like in your 20s, and I'm sure he's probably in his 20s. Actually, he's probably in his 30s, maybe.
No, he's much younger.
Okay, he looks older though than what he is. But
Cora
I'll
Jade
just-
used to hit that.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, he's
It's a
batting
song
way above his.
It's a song reference. Well, whatever it is, if it's a song reference, great. It's not helping. But my question is, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what was that? What is that strut that he does where he puts his hand on his stomach?
I don't know. Is it? Do you remember the Heavenly Bodies?
Kinda. I don't remember them doing that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do, bro. He's just a vanilla dude, man. And actually, he is young. He's born in 97. God damn. That's young.
Told you he's young.
He looks way older than that, man. For me. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, Jimmy Del Rey, exactly, Josh. That's what he reminds me of when he's doing whatever he's trying to do.
Did he do that? I don't remember, but
Not exactly the same, but you know what? They kind of look alike. Jimmy Del Rey could easily be his dad, dude. Look up Jimmy Del Rey, please, for a moment. You understand what I mean?
no, I know what he looks like. I don't need to look him up.
But don't you think they kind of look alike, if you know where I'm going?
Yeah, they have that same like stupid mustache and curly
yeah,
hair.
and the hair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. And even that weird thing they're doing.
All right, we're
That'd be
spending too
funny
much
as
time
hell.
on this. Look,
Yeah, I know, true. Who cares?
what's his name comes out again? Was it Shotty Lee?
Yes.
Okay, now in this match, Shotty Lee not only saves Blake Christian from a dive, like he pushes him out of the way and takes a dive from Hologram, but then Hologram just straight super kicks him in the face, and he's not going to turn on Vanilla Baby Blake Christian. So why would Cash turn on Axe or Axe turn on Cash after all this time that they've been friends?
Right. I have
After
no idea.
after a misunderstanding, they're going to break up. But you know, these guys that just got paired together or whatever, this guy eats a dive and a kick for his friend, and why doesn't he turn on him? Anyway,
It's true.
just what I'm thinking. Anyway,
Things that make you
Hologram
go,
hits the portal bomb to go to 22-0. Congratulations.
Wow.
Still undefeated.
Still undefeated, right? You know what the problem is? He legitimately is a hologram, though, because if we're going to go nowhere, he can keep winning and winning and winning. He still won't achieve anything.
You don't think he's going to win the Owen and main event?
No
All in?
way. No. Don't do that.
Okay.
Please. I'm praying
right.
for that not to happen.
All right. Well, Lexi is with the latest two Oweners, Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander.
You know how I feel.
All right. Well, how do you feel about this main event? Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks.
Why would I? What are they doing every week now on both shows? We go from tag team main events to women's, but not any women.
Yeah, how dare women main event anything?
No. Wait. Let me rephrase that. They're not even huge stars, man. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, that's what you should have said.
Right, that's what I meant, technically, but that's my problem.
Well, did you like the springboard variation of the Haterade clothesline?
I guess. I mean, cool. I just can't stand. I don't mind Billy. I can't stand Hater anymore, and her mountain face, if you know what I mean. You know, the acne. I can't stop staring at it, dude.
How petty, Jimmy.
I know I'm a petty motherfucker, but I can't stop looking at it, dude. I just can't, because the camera's always like...
Yeah, you could be focusing on her teeth.
Oh, they're bad. It's bad, dude.
All right. Enough.
She's got bad teeth, dude.
Enough.
For real.
Enough of this.
All right.
This is not a cosmetic review show.
Well...
This
Not
is
this show.
an AEW review. So, I will say that she had a springboard variation of the Haterade. And she won. Sorry, Billy, it's not your time. But Athena comes out and waves. She waves to Jamie Hayter. And she spins the belt. And we go off the air. Spinning.
Zane, what are you saying, dude? You can't spell misogynist without Jimmy T. Are you calling me gold dust? I'm just saying.
Oh, my God. You know what? On that note, we're done. Luckily.
Oh, shit. Anyway, Vet.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
When you call Jimmy T a misogynist, he literally doesn't know the meaning of the word.
No, but isn't that what they were calling friggin' Dustin when he was doing gold dust?
What'd you think of this week of AEW, Jimmy?
What am I getting confused? Well, this week sucked, personally. That's what I thought.
Right.
I mean, really, it was pretty bad, actually. I mean, did you think it was any good?
Yeah, I thought some things were good.
Other than Jay White, I'm still confused.
I got a few things that I ate this week. It's a little more enjoyable than the last few weeks, but they still got a ways to go. So it really is dependent on the talent they have on the programs. Bottom line.
Yeah, but what is this? 1 week, this exchange talent. The next week, you've got a whole bunch of other talent. Then we keep a few talent around. Like, it feels like that. Okay, this week it's your turn. Next week it's your turn.
Right. And then if they have the same people on every week, people complain it's the same people every week. I get it. Nobody's ever happy, and that's fine. But we're reviewing this week, and this week I like some stuff. And I guess I'll tell you what I'm doing for the rest of the week. Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, anything, Twitch, all Opinion Haver. It's just one word and it's a brand. And then check out the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk about NXT. Join me every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack, where Brandon and I talk about TNA. Join Wrestling with Rogers at their concrete time of whenever they go live on Friday or Thursday at their concrete time of 8 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Pacific or whatever time it is. But I'll tell you where they went concrete last week with the whole fucking show. Rob Van Dam came on and had a great show with those guys. Everything was great. A lot of great stories. Rob Van Dam was a very entertaining guest, very engaging, very funny, very insightful. He rambles a bit, but in an entertaining way, and it's really good. So please go check out that episode on YouTube. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to watch. Watch RVD and Rip hang out, tell some stories, and answer some questions, and it's just a good old time. And be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Get that notification bell so that at their concrete time, you'll always be notified. Then check out the Stevie Richards Show every Friday as well. He's continuing to talk about WWECW and specifically the December to Dismember pay-per-view and how big of a shit show that was. How does a pay-per-view go short? And furthermore, how do people complain about a pay-per-view going short? Because if this was real and all the fights ended early, I mean, then the show's over, right? It could only be short if the things will work, right? So that was always kind of weird. But anyways, they talk about all the stories behind the scenes there, and they're still not done talking about it. And they did reach 100,000 subscribers, so congratulations.
Yes, absolutely, congratulations. I was going to mention that if you weren't going to mention it, but yeah. I'm glad. I'm happy for him, dude. And Stevie's that humble that he was even saying to James, you keep the plug, you know what I mean? He was actually willing, but, you know, apparently James is going to buy him one, so you better, James.
All right, James. So yeah, great job by those guys. That's every Friday. Go to their YouTube channel, sign up. Again, free. Check out also free. Limpin' Ain't Easy. Timmy Baltimore. This week's guest, Matt Sydal. They had a nice long conversation. Matt Sydal gets a little bit out there, but he's got a lot of ideas and a lot of interesting perspectives. So if you could sift through all the
Sydal.
Yeah, if you can sift through all the Sydal, then you can get to some interesting nuggets of truth in there. So yeah, go check them out. And that's all I have.
Yeah, nice. Well, as far as I go, you can catch me Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, with myself and Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk all things WWE Monday Night Raw for I Like It Raw. And thank God we're on the home leg stretch of the European tour, which has been forever, it feels like. But yeah, we're back in London at the O2 for Raw. And then, of course, after that, the Smack Attack will be back at its normal time at, I believe, at 11 a.m. Eastern, or maybe 10 a.m., one of the two, on Saturday morning. Sorry, I get confused nowadays because it's all over the place. So yeah, look out for a Saturday morning Smack Attack, me and RBV. And of course, this very show, The Wreckage, every Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern with myself and the best in the world, the Vet. And no, I don't hate women, just quietly. But I could have sworn that's what they were calling Gold Dust. That's what I was trying to say before. All right, I know what it actually
Still on
means.
that. You just wouldn't drop it. I warned you to drop it. It's easier.
I know, but I'm confused.
You had to bring it back.
There's another word that's similar, but anyway, who cares? I just wanted to point that out. But Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I have to promote anything else other than like and subscribe at channelattitude.com. $5, realest and best talk in all of wrestling. And of course, Hamin Media Group's YouTube. Give us a share, give us a like. And HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com for our affiliate shows. Someone saying that I am Jimmy T. That is the best in the world. My co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage.
right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel and of course channelattitude.com after the fact. Thank you everyone for joining us and we're out. Peace.
This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.